Hey y'all, welcome back to Chris's Kitchen. So tonight is our first night to try one of our every plate meals that we got in our box yesterday. So the one we wanted to start with is the Gravy Lovers Meatballs with garlic mashed potatoes and green beans. It says it takes about 10 minutes to prep and 45 minutes to cook. So we're going to put it to the test and see. Now I did go ahead and read the recipe on the back and I have all of my stuff pulled out. I am going to be substituting milk for the water where it says to use in the place of the gravy and the meatballs. So we'll see how that works. But we're going to follow it pretty closely. Even if I don't completely agree with it, for this time I'm going to stick with it and see. I'm also going to use my little clip so I can stick it to the fridge and be able to see it really easily. But I'm going to move y'all up, start a timer, and see if this really does take about 10 minutes to prep and 45 minutes to cook. Alright y'all, so it's all done, and as you can see our timer's still counting down. So it said 10 minutes for prep, 45 minutes for cook. I just set the timer for 55 minutes and let it run through. I did notice that the prep did take longer than 10 minutes also. Hey buddy. But 55 minutes total, and we're still got about 10 minutes left. So about 45 minutes for the whole thing. Definitely works for me. All he's showing y'all his bobo. But this is what it turned out like. Again, this is the Gravy Lovers meatballs with roasted mashed potatoes and green beans. So we're going to taste it and see how it is. I will say, as you can see from the pan, even though it said use a non-stick pan and you didn't have to spray, and I was thinking with the high fat content of the meatballs, I wouldn't have to spray either. You definitely need some foil or to add some extra oil so it's not going to stick. I would probably use foil next time so I don't have to scrape that off the pan. But pretty easy. Everything needed to start all at once though for this recipe, and I don't really typically like that because I feel kind of rushed in the beginning and then you have the time as it comes together. But you do a little bit of prep work, it'll go by quickly. So let's see. I'm gonna let that part cool off for a second. Let's taste our potatoes. Potatoes are good. Just regular potatoes, sour cream. Green beans are good. I usually like to use a garlic salt for my green beans, but just the regular salt and pepper gives a good fresh taste. And with the garlic being in the potatoes and the meatballs, maybe it's a good thing it doesn't have it. One thing I was thinking as I was adding the onions, this is a very onion heavy dish. But let's try our meatball and gravy. Actually not bad. Pretty basic, but has good flavor. It is very, very onion heavy. And as a person, I love onion flavor in my foods, but I don't like onions themselves. I don't know why, I just don't. This isn't bad. I think I would probably chop the onions much smaller next time, like a mince instead, but that's just a personal preference. But overall a win. Very easy to replicate again. The card was good as far as their instructions. I will say that I don't necessarily agree, and you probably saw, it told me to start the meatballs first. And what I did instead was got my water boiling and my potatoes going because I knew the water would need to take time, and had my oven preheated. Once I got those settled, took just a minute, I was able to work on the meatballs and things. But maybe it said to do the meatballs first so that that bread had more time to soak up the milk and see. And I chose to do milk with my bread instead of water like they suggested. But I think it all worked out. It was a win. It's not the photo finish for that, but the taste is good. So we'll keep going through the rest of our recipes and see how they turn out. But hopefully you enjoyed it and maybe you'll give it a try. You ready to sit down and eat, Thatcher? Ooh. Ooh. All right, y'all, we're going to sit down and eat dinner. Thank you, bye.